Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're embarking on a journey into a world where humanity truly takes a back seat. We're going to strip away the myths and look directly at the raw, hard facts of the world's most massive, untamed jungle. So, get comfortable and prepare yourself, because the sheer scale of what we're about to cover is honestly a little tough to wrap your head around.
Actually, I want you to start by just focusing on this number right here, 20%. Do me a favor and take a really deep breath right now. Ready? 1, 2. For every single breath you just took, and for every breath taken by every living, breathing creature on this planet, 20% of that life-giving oxygen comes from the terrifying, beautiful place we're exploring today. It's the lungs of the Earth. But as we're about to see, it's a set of lungs that breathes danger with every single exhale.
Okay, let's dive into this unimaginable scale. When we say big, the human brain really struggles to comprehend what the Amazon actually is. This forest spans an incredible 5.5 million square kilometers across 8 different countries. To put that massive landmass into some kind of perspective, you could fit the entire country of Pakistan inside it 7 times over. You could comfortably drop the entirety of India into it twice. Or, if you prefer, you could fit exactly 157 Dubais right within its borders. It's an absolute continent of green.
And what about the sheer borders of this place? Well, if you were brave enough, or let's be real, crazy enough, to walk the entire perimeter of the Amazon, you'd be trekking for 22,500 kilometers. That's the exact equivalent of taking an agonizingly long road trip from Karachi to Islamabad or from Mumbai to New Delhi, 7 separate times. Now, inside those borders, there's another absolutely staggering figure, 400 billion. That's the estimated number of trees standing in the Amazon today. It's a completely undisputed kingdom of nature. Literally everything happening inside this vast fortress of wood and leaves is dictated entirely by the rules of the wild. Humanity has absolutely zero control here.
And because of those 400 billion trees, the sensory experience of simply standing in the forest is entirely alien to us. The canopy overhead is so incredibly thick, so layered, that when a rainstorm hits, and keep in mind, it rains almost every single week of the year out there, it takes a full 10 minutes for a single raindrop to navigate through the leaves and finally hit the forest floor. And because that foliage is so dense, it completely blocks out the sun. In a lot of parts of the deep jungle, even in the absolute middle of the day, you are plunged into pitch-black darkness.
Let's move into our next section, danger under the canopy.
This dark environment is teeming with life in numbers that completely defy logic. Let's just run through a quick biodiversity blitz, shall we? There are 40,000 different types of plants. Look up, and there are 1,300 unique bird species. Look in the water, 2,200 species of fish. Around you, 272 different mammals. And crawling on the ground and in the air, over 2.5 million different types of insects. It's a biological paradise. Sure, but mathematically, this means you are literally surrounded by threats from every possible angle.
So, say you make a wrong turn. The first major threat you might bump into is the Green Anaconda. This apex predator grows up to 30 feet long and can weigh a massive 250 kilograms. It's the largest snake in the world, and its eating habits? Absolutely horrifying. It doesn't even chew. It ambushes animals way larger than itself, crushes them, and swallows them completely whole in a single, devastating strike.
Now, what's really interesting about this contrast is that danger in the Amazon isn't always 30 feet long. Sometimes it's just 4 centimeters. Meet the bullet ant, the world's largest ant. If you're unlucky enough to be stung by this tiny little insect, the toxic venom delivers a pain so severe, so agonizing, that victims have famously compared it to the sensation of being shot by an actual bullet, hence the name. A sting from this tiny creature can literally bring a grown adult to their knees in fatal shock.
Which brings us to our next section, the deadly Amazon River. To really understand its power, just consider the river's flow rate. 209,000 cubic meters of water blast through here every single second. That sheer volume of water could completely empty Egypt's massive city-star Sharm el-Sheikh, which is the largest swimming pool in the world, by the way, in mere seconds. To put it another way, just one single day of water flowing through the Amazon equals 12 entire years of flow from London's River Thames. You just cannot fight a current like that.
And you certainly don't want to meet what lives inside it. We normally think of dolphins as these friendly, ocean-dwelling buddies, right? Well, the Amazon features the pink dolphin. This river variant grows up to 9 feet long, weighs 200 kilograms, and has an incredibly large brain, making it exceptionally intelligent. But, unlike its ocean cousins, this powerful mammal is uniquely aggressive and is actually known to attack humans who wander into its territory.
860 volts. Just let that number sink in for a second. That is the lethal capability of the electric eel, which prowls these waters. For over 250 years, scientists have been documenting this fish's terrifying defense mechanism. With a single pulse, it can generate 860 volts of electricity. That's enough to instantly fry the nervous system and kill animals 100 times its own size. It doesn't matter what you are. One shock and the whole shebang is over.
And this brilliantly illustrates just how insane a man named Martin Strel really is. Back in 2007, this marathon swimmer decided to swim the entire length of the Amazon River. It took him 66 grueling days. His survival strategy was absolutely wild. Step 1, swim 10 hours a day, then rest. Step 2, have a support boat travel alongside and frantically throw buckets of raw meat onto the riverbanks just to distract the giant alligators, electric eels, and anacondas away from his body. It is an absolute miracle he survived to claim the world record. But you know, even the water itself can be your enemy. Deep in the Peruvian territory of the Amazon, there's a 6.5-kilometer stretch of river that literally boils. Emitting thick smoke, the water temperature here consistently sits between 90 and 100 degrees Celsius. It will instantly cook anything that falls into it. And the most terrifying part, it boils all year round, and science still cannot fully explain exactly why this geothermal anomaly even exists here.
Moving right along to our final section, Deep Jungle Mysteries.
So the mysteries out here aren't just geographical, they're deeply human too. Hidden away deep within this impenetrable jungle are completely uncontacted tribes. We're talking about entire communities of people living in absolute isolation, hunting the dangerous animals we just discussed and existing completely unaware of the modern outside world. When researchers or planes accidentally cross their path, they react with utter shock, having literally never seen anything beyond the green walls of the jungle. Let's move back to the physical landscape and see how this builds into an even greater historical enigma. Thanks to modern satellite imagery, we can finally look down at the forest floor from space, and when we do, we see these, the geoglyphs. There are over 300 massive, strange, geometric shapes carved perfectly into the earth, with some stretching up to 1.5 kilometers wide. They are so incredibly massive that they are completely invisible if you're just standing on the ground. You can only see them from orbit. Which leaves us with this final, chilling question hanging over the dense canopy. Who built these 300 massive geoglyphs hidden perfectly under the trees? And more importantly, why were they built to be seen only from the sky? The Amazon holds its secrets tight in the dark, and some mysteries remain completely swallowed by the jungle. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and remember, keep questioning what lies out there in the unknown.